It's May again, so let's see what we have for this episode of Budget Builds Monthly. Before we get into it, I want to give a quick insight as to what we do for this series. We take your budget and answers from a request form. In the video description, there is a link to a Google form. It slowly gets updated every so often. With this information, we try to build the best computer we can to fit your means. Unless there are budget constraints, we spec out systems on AMD and Intel, both using their DDR4 and DDR5 Gen platforms. Once the build lists are complete, we compare each build using online benchmarks and list out the pros and cons between the top builds from the benchmarks. Using those, then we can determine what build is the best for your use case. But we can't do any of that without your input. Speaking of the Google form, let's see how you fill it out. Alright, in case you forgot or you're new to the channel, let's see we fill out our budget build request form. Budgets are in USD. We do not include taxes, fees, or Windows keys unless stated otherwise. We do not share your email address, so you don't have to worry about that. For type of system, we have gaming, working, or combination of the two. For form factor preferences of your motherboard, this will determine what case size we can go with. You can select mini ITX all the way to XL ATX, or you just have no preference. For CPU and GPU preferences, we have your Intel and AMD for CPU, NVIDIA AMD for GPU, no preferences for either, or you can select other and type in what you want. For areas of focus, we have your CPU, cooling, motherboard, memory, storage, graphics card, case, and power supply. Now I will be changing this out soon to be more hierarchical, so it'll show like 1, 2, 3, or 4, and so on, so we know which ones to focus on based on your priority. I will let you know the next time I do this change in the next video, so just stay tuned for that. Here we have already purchased our own system components. If you already have the PC parts from your previous build, or you just have already bought them, just let me know down in this answer here below. Just put it in the format of the component type and the general info. There's no sense into buying two computer cases. For peripherals, if you want or need any peripherals, just let me know here. And then other, you can either put the budget you want to add on to your total budget, or let me know here if you want to take a percentage of your budget and put it specifically for peripherals. And then lastly, we have any other request you have. You want RGB, no RGB, and again, any other final request you have. Quick disclaimer, prices will vary if any sales are going on or stock changes at the time of recording. Because of this, we tried to get the budget builds as close or slightly over the stated budget. Unless asked, we are not including taxes, shipping costs, OS keys, or peripherals in the final cost from the budget. Alright, with that out of the way, let's see our response for the month of May. And unfortunately, just like last month, we again do not have any responses on our Google form. Now please remember that I do need your input to make these videos. If you want me to make something in place of this video, don't hesitate, let me know down in the comment section below, and we'll take a look into that instead. Now, because we don't have any responses, we're going to take a nice budget of $800 USD, which I know kind of seems weird for a budget, but I'm going to surprise you and see what we have using this budget. So let's get into it. This is the Lenovo Legion GO. Now, of course, we're going to be looking at virtually since I don't have this product hands-on. So without further ado, let's check out why we should maybe consider getting the Legion GO, but probably not. So the Lenovo Legion GO is supposed to be tackling handheld gaming. Now we have the Steam Deck, we also have the different cloud gaming devices, as well as some handheld consoles like the Nintendo Switch and the GPD Win devices. So the Lenovo Legion GO has an 8.8-inch Quad HD display. It has a micro SD card slot. We'll see what kind of expandability we have later on. It says it has multiple modes. So, just like the Nintendo Switch, you can actually pull off these controllers. If we keep clicking over, maybe we'll get a nice 360 view of them. And I guess we're watching a YouTube video because they couldn't build it on the website. That's perfectly fine. Alright, well, this thing pretty much looks like a Switch. And the controls and everything like that. By the way, there's no music or any audio to this video, which is kind of weird. Right? It's not muted or anything. But, okay. I would have liked to see a 3D scan of this thing on the website, but that's fine. So those are its multiple modes. You can take the controllers off and use them in an FPS style or kind of like as a mouse for this one, as you saw in the video. It has the Legion True Strike controllers, interesting, and then Legion Space. No idea what that is. So here are our speakers. We have dual speakers on the top. Next up is our micro SD card reader. Unsure about the max capacity it will read. Next up we have a thermal fin, which is pretty much like the switch. It's just a vent on the top where all the heat gets pushed out of. Then we have our volume controls still here on the top. 5 is our charge port, which is a USB-C 4.0 that supports DisplayPort 1.4 with power delivery 3.0. Interesting. For 6 is our headphone mic combo. Awesome. 7 is our power button, which has an LED light shows. Wonder if you can change this. You could probably change the colors on this. 8, we have dual microphones. 9 is our FPS mode switch, which is here on the bottom of this right controller. 10 is another USB-C 4.0 port. And then 11 is our mouse sensor. So pretty much this side of the controller turns into a mouse, allowing you to do quote-unquote FPS mode. Scrolling down again, get more of that visual aid for the controllers. And then if we hop back up to tech specs, hit this down button. For processor, it has an AMD Ryzen Z1 Extreme. I wonder what that means. With RDNA graphics. We're going to look up that processor in a minute to see its cores and threads. I might lay it over this, but we'll look at that in a second. It has built-in Windows 11 for its OS system. For RAM, it has 16 gigabytes of LPDDR5X, 7500 megahertz. It's probably soldered to the board, why it says on board. For storage, it supports up to 1 terabyte PCIe 4.0 NVMe M.2 2242. If this is like your main handheld gaming PC, that's not a lot of storage. A lot of people are like upgrading those to 2, 4, some people even 6 terabytes. Once again, if this is your main system, that's not a lot of storage because you want to be lugging around a hard drive or an SSD externally to plug in. For battery, it has a 2-cell 49.2 watt hour that supports super rapid charge, and supposedly each controller battery has a 900 milliamp hour capacity. Alright, for audio, we have 2 2-watt speakers and dual array near-field microphones. For connectivity, we have a microphone headphone combo, a USB-C 4.0 that supports DisplayPort 1.4 and power delivery 3.0, and the micro SD card reader supports up to 2 terabytes of micro SD card storage, which is actually pretty funny because you only support up to 1 terabyte PCIe 4.0 for main storage. And then once again, it says right here, the bottom has another USB-C 4.0 port. For Wi-Fi, we're running Wi-Fi 6E. Pretty good. For Bluetooth, starting at Bluetooth 5.1. I don't know why it says starting at Bluetooth 5.1. Interesting. Its display is an 8.8-inch Quad HD 2560 by 1600. It's an IPS screen, which is nice at 500 nits, 16 by 10 aspect ratio, 144 Hz refresh rate. Awesome. It has a 97% DCI P3 with 10-point touchscreen. It's also running Gorilla Glass. I don't know if it's Gorilla Glass like base or any of the newer ones, but I bet if it was like Gorilla Glass 5 or something like that, they'd probably write Gorilla Glass 5. The base module, which is I guess the console itself or the handheld without the controllers, is 20.1 millimeters by 210 millimeters by 131, which is about 0.79 by 8.27 by 5.16 inches. So we have our millimeters and our inches. And then of course it's relatively double that for the height, which is very interesting. It's about 1.5 times for the width, and of course the depth is always the same. And then for weight, we have 640 grams or about 1.41 pounds. And then with the controllers, they weigh 0.47 pounds heavier. And then here's all of our controls. It has haptics, which is awesome, gyro. And then of course we have our, pretty much every other controller is going to have this. The only thing that other controllers won't have are the mouse sensor and the mouse wheel. But that's how they get their Lenovo Legion style FPS controllers. Color is only in shadow black. For bloatware, or they call preloaded software, it comes with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate 3-month trial and then Legion Space. Now we don't have the device, so we don't know what else kind of bloatware they put on the thing, but well, that's fine. And right here, what comes in the box, we get the base module and Legion True Strike controllers. I mean, I'd hope it'd come with like the tablet with the 2 controllers. We get the controller base, a 65-watt power adapter, and a carrying case. Very, very nice. And if you want a full spec list with part numbers, just click on this PDF. And then scrolling all the way back to the top, we can hit View Models, which takes us here. Now, I'm reading this as you can buy it straight from Lenovo for $6.99, or you can pick it up at Best Buy for $7.49. So let's just compare these two. And if you are comparing, they're going to be the exact same device, aren't they? %, these things are going to be the exact same device. They're the exact same device. The only different thing is the part number. This one's 83E10000 US, and this one's 83E1001Y US. Which, if you do the math, unless Lenovo is charging you $50 to ship this thing, just buy it from the website. Alright, just like always, we're going to do one more comparison test, and that's checking eBay. Alright, checking eBay and its currently listed devices. Currently up for sale, $635, best offer with shipping, $600 with shipping. This one's a new listing. Hot auction, okay, so a lot of these are on auctions. $625 best offer, then they're shipping. $500, $600, $650. You can buy it straight from Lenovo, I guess. Even though Ant Online, I guess, is Lenovo. That's fine. $1,200. Okay. And then if we quickly look at the sold devices, let's see what we got. 615, 600. I'm always going to round up. Best offer, we don't know. 700, 900 with a 3 to cheese. 600, 600. That was a best offer taken. 600, best offer taken, best offer taken. 600, best offer taken, best offer taken. 600 plus shipping. Didn't this dude already sell something? Yeah, he did. Best offer taken. Best offer taken, 600. So these things are selling for like 600, 650 bucks, if that. You could probably get a best offer and then you're good. But in reality, they're selling for like 50 to 100 USD cheaper than they would be if you're buying them brand new. Now, just like everything else though, there's no warranty when you buy used. So is it better off buying it for, let's say, 600 bucks with tax? Or 700 bucks with tax, and you're supposed to get a warranty. But I mean, that's up to you. But that's about it. That's the Lenovo Legion Go. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and fill out that Google form so we can get off these handheld devices and move back to computers again. And I'll see you all in the next one.